Right here you have your boom pole holder kit. This obviously helps hold your boom pole, which is very nice. Last thing you want to do is set your boom pole on the ground, which most of us sometimes don't really have a choice. But the thing about this cart is it's going to help you to be able to organize your equipment while you're out there in the field without stepping on it. Even though you're the only person on site, I've done it many times where I'm like, oh, no one's gonna step on it, and then I end up stepping on it. So there we go. All right, also you're gonna be looking for this. This is part of that boom pole, and then you got your safety hooks right in here that will be going over here shortly. Okay, whoever added this next item I'm about to introduce is a genius, especially for people like us where we're trying to stay creative. Sometimes it's hard to be creative when you're tired, and this is where your energy drinks go. Even a cup holder is included. And of course, don't forget about the Allen wrench pieces and your two 16-inch wheels and some bolts that come right here. All right, so we got our wheels set to the side. We are ready to put this beast together. I'm gonna pull this out. Be very careful when you do. This is really not attached quite yet, so you wanna go ahead and grab it by the other end. Okay, so what you're gonna wanna do is unscrew these bolts that have been pre-bolted in there for you. Now you're gonna see these two pieces of bearings, okay? Remember the way it's set. So you have this bolt, you have the washer facing out that way. Okay, if you can see that. You're gonna go ahead and put that while the other half is on the other end. Okay, so you can see this washer right here, and that's gonna go in where it's like that, so you have a flush, nice bearing there, okay? Secondly, so let's go ahead and redo this so you can see it on this end. All right, so we're gonna line this up to the middle hole in the back. You can see there is a middle hole right there. Okay, so bolt first, all right? We wanna get a bolt in there. Make sure you don't push it all the way through. All right, so the first bearing, you'll see, get a close-up shot there, is gonna go like this. All right, you need this bolt to fit in flush. If it's not fitting flush, that means you have the washer there on the outside, okay? So now we're gonna take our tire, our wheel, whatever you want to call it, put that in, and now on the other side you want this washer facing this way, okay, on the inside. And you can see those close-up shots we're showing you. And we're going to take this now. You may have to bring your bolt back just a little bit before you tuck it in, but you're going to want to have to screw it in the middle one there. All right, now once you have that bearing in, we're gonna wanna screw that into the middle part here. All right, and you're gonna go ahead and get that Allen wrench. Go ahead and tighten that in there. It looks like we're ready for the next step. Okay, now it's time to unfold the beast. This is the fun part. It's where it becomes sort of a transformer.
Next, attach the side handles. If they came attached already, then you can skip this step. Make sure to twist the bolts evenly on both ends, each time ensuring easier installation and minimizing any damage or stripping of the bolts.
Okay, now it's time to attach the bottom plate to the hinges right here. Remember, there's bolts that are underneath, and these tighten up eventually. So basically, these will adjust to these down here. So if this doesn't fit the way it's lined up, the way it comes prepackaged, don't fret, don't worry, it's okay, because these slide back and forth. All right, so let's get started. All right, so you have the washer right here. Now remember, you have a washer on this end. So we're gonna go ahead and slap that in there. Just like those old preschool games we used to play, shapes and games and stuff. So this is how it's going to fit in there. You see that? Looks kind of weird and awkward. Using my hands here. Okay, so we have this in hand. Now this gets a little tricky because you're holding on with one hand and all that, but this should tighten up eventually, and there you go. So we'll take our other small bolt and we are going to tighten it on the other end, doing the same thing. So now we have our other end over here, and we're gonna go ahead and get this all tightened and ready to rock. Okay, so now we are ready to attach the bottom plate to the rear part, and this is could get a little tricky just because we have to line some bolts here. We'll go ahead and grab my tools, and we'll get ready. So we're gonna go ahead and align these holes right here into the bolt that we had just shown you, all right? Now you can see what I'm doing right here. These bolts raise up and down. All right, you can see it lift up and down. All right, so let's find that first hole there. And I got that locked in place. So now I can take this, bring it in a bit, and then get a little bit of a grip in there. Not too much, because we don't want to tighten it too much. The other end will be very difficult to get in there. So now we've got our first bolt attached. All right. Now let's take this other end, and we're gonna go ahead and bring this bolt up so that we can see it and actually use our Allen wrench on it. This can be a little tedious. I think I see it right there, yep. All right, so now that we've got the Allen wrench locked in place with the bolt, and it looks like we are starting to lock it in, and that's it. Once you get it, this is probably the most tedious part, but it all makes sense. And then these bolts will start screwing on top. So now you can see the bolt. And this literally will secure everything together. Now you're going to see it slowly come together. Give it an even screw for each one. Screw this in a little bit longer. Okay. Eventually you're going to start feeling it all come together. It'll take some time. Okay, it looks like we're just about done here. And that should just be tight right there. And there you have it, more secure than ever as the entire frame comes together now. So we're not out of the woods quite yet. We need to hook these hinges onto here as well to secure it. There's two more on the bottom. I'll go ahead and flip this in a few seconds as soon as we connect these. And remember, these slide back and forth, okay? So you'll have to make those adjustments to be able to slide it and bring it into position where it needs to be. Now, if you have to push this down a bit, that's fine. That can be done. And I'd say right about there is fine. And if you really want to be accurate about it, you can actually grab a level too, just to be safe. So we're going to go ahead and tighten this guy up a little bit. All right. Excuse me there. Get a little carried away. Same thing for over here. You're going to probably have to loosen it up a little bit. That way this will go backwards. All right, and we're going to want to head and push that screw hole down. You see right here, you can see that screw hole right there. We're going to have to line it up perfect, okay? It's pretty convenient. It's pretty easy. It's pretty convenient. It's all slid in already. So we're going to go ahead and line that hole up. Let's go ahead and grab our next bolt. And let's get that all lined up in there. Say that's pretty secure. Now we're going to go ahead and flip this right side up so you can see what we got going on down here. Now you can see that this dolly can lay sideways as well. It's pretty cool, very versatile. I mean, it is just so modular, this thing. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look what we got going on down here. All right, we still need to get these bolts lined up, and you'll see that there's bolts right down in here. All right, and what we need to do is line that up, okay? So it appears if you're off balance just a little bit, you're gonna have to do some adjustments down here. But once you get those done, you should be set. Okay, so that's not pretty much lined up the way I wanted yet. So I'm gonna have to do some adjustments on where the screw goes. So I'm going to slide this up just to get that out of the way. So it appears we have some adjustments we need to make. So I'm going to come back here and loosen this so I can kind of push it up. It gives me more leverage right there. Okay, I'm going to grab the camera here real quick. As you can see, this thing slides up and down. Okay, and you can loosen that by taking that right there and loosening it. You can see the track, and then you're able to push this backwards. Okay, and that'll allow you to get that right in the hole to line up there. Okay. Okay, so now that we've got it loosened up, we're going to push this back a little bit so we can line the holes up. Best way to do it is you could probably also stick your Allen wrench in there. Okay, and it looks like we got the holes lined up. So let's get these bolts in here. We've kind of messed around with this a while. Let's go ahead and line this up good. And eventually this will all line up perfectly once you get it in place. It just takes some messing around with.
So I saved the best for last. That's right, all the extras it comes with. This is where your mixer could go. This is the safety feature here to keep it intact when you're rolling it around. Right here is your antenna holder. As you can see, you unscrew it right here. It opens up. Now, in order to access the bolt, you're going to have to flip this around and take out this compression piece. Just wiggle it, jiggle it just a little bit. It should pop right out. From here, you can position it anywhere with these nuts that are included already built in there. Just go ahead and take that Allen bolt and Allen wrench and screw it right in. And, you know, if you want to tighten it, you can. If you're happy with that, you can also loosen it up, but also replace that compression piece when you're done. Don't forget.
Okay, so next it's time to install our next antenna holder, the bottom portion. So we'll go ahead and get this all set up. And I would recommend possibly putting this on the inside so that obviously doesn't hit the tire, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and grab this guy. If I can get it in the hole here. There we go. Okay, so first things first, let's go ahead and get this guy all settled. Okay. Then you're gonna grab this guy, all right? We're gonna go ahead and put this in, all right? And there you have it. The antenna holder is complete.
Right here is the boom holder brace. It's got a locking mechanism that slides into the tracks. You can see how it goes to the right. You sometimes have to loosen it up in order for it to do that. The boom pole cup, which holds the end of the boom pole, and of course the top portion of the boom pole holder. Right here, all you got to do is find another position here. This is pretty simple. This is just your Allen bolt utilizing the Allen wrench, and you could just screw it right in. Very simple. Now this is where things get a little different. You can loosen it up in order for you to get behind the track, and then you can see it lock as you go towards the right and tighten it. Sometimes it takes a couple tries, but ultimately it's pretty simple. Now you're going to go ahead and put the rubber cup in there, and you should be ready to go ahead and put in your boom pole. Very simple. I like that the top actually locks. It's got several locking positions.
So now it's time to install some of the side accessories that the cart comes with, and you can see that these bags include these little stoppers that actually go in these tracks and allow you to be able to install specific items like the headphone holder, which we're about to accessorize here with, and of course the cup holder coming right up. All right, so we're gonna grab our headphone holder, and I would recommend using the 2 SUT because those fit here on the side. Let's go ahead and turn this to the side. You see this nice little slide track if it's coming in right in here, and it kind of slides in there. But first, you're gonna want to head and take one of these and screw it on here first, all right? And you're literally gonna just take this piece, screw it right on there. This is going to latch like we were talking about earlier. This will eventually, when you're tightening it, It's kind of like a Batman tool or something like that. It'll clamp to the right and eventually lock. So let's go ahead and get this headphone holder in there. The way we're going to do that, go ahead and slide this guy in there first. And you want to get it loose enough so that it slides behind the track. And right there, we should have a nice, tight fit. All right, so let me go ahead and grab my headphones. We'll use that as an example. My headphones are a little messy, bear with me. So there you go. Your headphone holders go on just like that. All right, so next on the agenda, the most important part, we're gonna flip this to this side. And the final piece is right here, the cup holder. That's right, goes in right here. And what I like about this cup holder is it's not just a cup holder, but it will hold your coffee mug. As you can see this slit, let's go ahead and grab a coffee mug here after I install this. And I think it's a very important feature to point out. Because, you know, there's cup holders where you can put your cup, but I'm a coffee kind of guy. You know, I like energy drinks in the afternoon, but I need a place for my coffee mug. Not even cars, okay, at this point, have mastered being able to put a coffee cup in the coffee holder. So here we go, check this out. Thought this was really impressive. Look at that, they created a slide. And just like that, your coffee mug's ready to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial of the CV3 cart. For more information on this, make sure you follow, subscribe, like our channels, and you can also see the videos of us accessorizing this with mixers and more. So make sure you tune in for that.